Okay, so it seems like we're talking about this VTuber again, and this is a person called nyaravt. Now, I covered them a couple of months ago, or even a couple of weeks ago, and essentially, what we covered them for was the fact that they were calling, slop tubers and saying that slop tubers were fueling transphobia, which obviously was very, very weird. And there was this one clip that kept circulating online of them essentially saying stuff like children, can consent to like puberty blockers and things like that. It's like, it's so weird, and they were very, very heavy on, allowing children to essentially transition, which, again, you can have your own opinions about that. I don't really care. But it seems like, Nyara has been back on it again and has now been attacking other VTubers in the space with their videos. And I think it's kind of funny to see because, again, they've been kind of been being dogpiled by all of these other VTubers, which I think is extremely funny to see, especially how much, they tweet and how much they kind of post and get away with. Because a lot of the stuff they post is very, very inflammatory. I mean, if we literally go through their Twitter timeline, I usually have this rule where I'm just like, judge a person by how much they post on Twitter. And, this is clearly, 21 minutes ago, 33 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, 10 hours ago, but then you go to 12 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 15 hours, they tweet an awful lot, and obviously stuff they tweet about quite a lot is obviously other VTubers and anything that they can kind of get their hands on, which will give them the leg up in terms of popularity, including Rosie Balmu and also Kitsunero. Now, we talked about Kitsunero before as well. Obviously, she is the one that got attacked for her opinion on men. She said that, obviously men deserve to be loved, and ended up getting doxxed for that, which again is kind of crazy. That isn't even a take that will end up getting you, put in a situation like that. But essentially, obviously, Nyara has decided to double down on it, and Kitsu actually made a tweet about it saying, "Hey nyaravt, I know that my latest video of me reacting to someone who insulted me blew up, and you're trying to capitalize on that, but still not going to react to it. Also, please kindly remove me out of the thumbnail. I never said pride overshadows men's mental health. I said men's mental health is overshadowed generally. This is slander," which obviously I do think is, pretty true. I think that, men's mental health isn't actually as talked about, at the moment as some of these other events. And I think that Nyara has the kind of perspective that men's mental health is overshadowing pride, which again, they think that pride, people think that pride is overshadowing men's mental health, which I just don't think is the case either. I'm pretty sure both of them could exist at the same time. Now, obviously, as you see here, you can see on their channel, it says kitsunero VT. They've literally called them out by name, by profile picture, and saying that they're a pick-me VTuber, which is kind of crazy, obviously, because they've just resorted to calling them a pick-me just due to the fact that they're supporting men. It's so dumb, and I think these people that for some reason are attacking Kitsu and literally anybody else with the similar opinion, it's just stupid. And obviously, they're going to say, oh, they're just a pick-me, and obviously, people are going to say to me and other men as well that kind of cover this situation, oh, you're just supporting them because they're supporting men. That's not the case at all, and I definitely think, you got to be definitely more open-minded about this, which nyaravt definitely is not. Obviously, Kizzy says, also keep sieving, I'll forever be the superior German fox girl. Obviously, I replied to her saying the blatant attack on you is crazy. Chi Review saying you really live run-free in the head, which definitely is true. If you look at Nyara's Twitter, I mean, the amount that they talk about Rosie and the amount that they talk about Kitsu on their page is mental. And the moment, like, one female VTuber kind of speaks up against them, they go absolutely crazy about them and make about 30 posts on Twitter about them, which I think is crazy. And obviously, we've also got Banana Juju as well, who obviously has been in a lot of drama in the past and has been talking about this as well, also saying, when idiots get upset that we care about men. Obviously, she is one of the ones that also supported this statement of, men deserve love too type thing, and, the whole kind of men's mental health kind of promoting it kind of thing. And, obviously, yeah, she's been supporting this as well and saying, she's angry at the fact that, they've done this. And they were angry at the new thumbnail, which Nyara actually updated later on just to say Fox VTuber and then blurred the profile picture. And obviously, Kitsu then went down at the bottom saying, that's the original, by the way, trying to straight up slander my name. And, Banana says classic, which, I think it's just so dumb that this is even going on in the first place. And I think that Nyara is obviously such a horrible person that they feel the need to attack these people just for supporting men. And I think the most horrible thing about this, and this is something that you will see Nyara do quite a bit, is the fact that, obviously, she replied to this, and she also says here, it's crazy how easy it is for centrist VTubers to use me for Twitter likes and YouTube views. I hope they know which type of community they're building when they're attacking trans creators like me, which I think is just completely wrong to do. I think, obviously they are hiding behind the fact that they are trans. They're trying to say they're attacking me because I'm trans. They're building an audience of transphobic people, which I just don't think is the case at all. The reality of it is they're building an audience of people who hate your dumb opinions, because let's be honest, they are very stupid in the fact of saying that, obviously disagreeing with the fact that, pride over, or not disagreeing with the fact, but obviously, I feel like attacking Men's Mental Health Month so vividly and so horribly, it's just not great. I feel like, obviously it's just one of those things where I think you got to be just open-minded. I think pride can exist. I think men's mental health can exist at the same time. Obviously, a lot of the debate has been surrounding the fact that obviously they share a similar month, at least over in the US. I think it's over in November for us in the UK, but in the US, Pride Month and Men's Mental Health Month fall on the same month. And obviously, yeah, some people argue that pride overshadows it, and some people argue that men's mental health overshadows it. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like both of them can exist at the same time, and I don't think any overshadows anything else. But I do feel like, at the moment, men's mental health doesn't get talked about enough, because it just doesn't. And I feel like it's just one of those things that does need to get talked about more. And I think, it's great that people like Kitsunero, people like Banana, and even more people as well. There's so many other VTubers as well who are posting stuff like this, despite, all of the warnings of, you might get doxxed, or you might get a little bit of trouble with some people for saying it, which is crazy to say, obviously, the fact that, you get in a lot of trouble and a lot of, sticky situations just from saying that you support men, which... yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, Nyara also responded to this one as well, saying that telling men you deserve to be loved doesn't do anything to fix the mental health issues going on. Start telling your audience the truth instead of putting the blame on feminism, and we'll talk. Which I think is just a stupid way to do it as well. Obviously, with a one tweet, they're not planning on fixing the entire world. But I also think just making people aware of the fact that, this is something that goes on is enough to, kind of do stuff like this. And obviously, Banana replies to this saying, men's issues were always a topic on my channel, not just mental health. That is why my husband has appeared on my streams too. Yes, I'm married, but I guess when I just say that I'm single, I could start sucking money from my audience. Since he can provide his side of things and can be an example of how a successful relationship and life as a man can work out. We do not shy away to provide advice. We do not just say you deserve to be loved. I basically directly work at the source, since 90% of my viewers are male. By the way, I have 3 bigger brothers to whom I'm a pretty good talking partner when it comes to their problems. By the way, you're always welcome to my stream. Maybe we can widen your horizon a little bit. Maybe we can convince you that have less assumptions and judgments about people without talking to them and calling them liars. Get a grip, Nyara, which again is such a good response here. And you can see the Banana actually ratioed Nyara there, getting 2,000 likes. This one only got 1.3 thousand. And Nyara said, in this video, I didn't even talk about you specifically, but this isn't the first time you inserted yourself into a situation to get approval from the incel fan base. Last time I saw you was when you denied the existence of trans kids, which is crazy. Obviously, they keep throwing that out at literally everybody I see. They also did it towards Rosie as well. They keep saying that people denied the existence of trans kids. It's just what? It's such a weird, they find little weird things to latch onto. There's one thing they latched onto with Rosie as well, where they essentially said that, they used AI art once. And obviously you can be against it, you can be for it, but let's be real. It's it's not like a career-ending criminal offense that you've used AI art one time. Let's be real, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and kind of using that as a argument in a situation as serious as this just doesn't really help you out in any way at all. And obviously, I feel like, you guys have probably seen the full breadth of what Nyara does. And if you guys have been following it on Twitter, how horrible they can be in terms of this kind of stuff. And they just don't stop tweeting about other VTubers and pretty much just attacking all of these people who are defending men. And I think, yeah, with Kitsu, with Banana, with Rosie, all of these people they've been attacking constantly and saying that they are pygmies just for supporting men, which obviously is such a disgusting kind of way to kind of, put forward things for the future. And I think that obviously hiding behind the trans kind of stuff as well is also completely wrong. And I feel like they've done this so many times where, they go out, kind of arms swinging, and obviously they get punched in the face, they fall back on the ground, they go, oh wait, but no, I'm trans, you can't do that to me. And I think that's just, a horrible way to go about it. If you want to go out and, attack people, at least don't, backpedal and then hide behind the fact that you're trans, which I think is just so dumb. And I think trying to call and play the transphobia card as soon as something starts going wrong for you is obviously not a very good look for you. And I think a lot of people have started to realize that. And yeah, I mean, it's very, very, it's a very, very confusing situation. But obviously, I hope you guys are kind of up to date with what is going on with this, and I think that I just wanted to talk about this because it's something that I've been seeing unfold on Twitter quite a bit over the past couple of days. I've seen Nyara tweet so much that like it's almost something that's happening like almost every single hour, which is absolutely crazy. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because I'm very interested in what you guys think about this situation as a whole. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.